Good morning, Internet. Let's see. Output Odyssey good. Output Kick good. Increase limiter on game audio, so hopefully it's not as loud as it usually is. Think everything's operational. Alright. Since Cypher is a living Looney Tune character and almost falling through the floor and killing himself, hopefully me streaming in the morning will fill in the void of people wanting to call in on stream. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Any level upgrades for my armor? Nope. Back to the grind. You got, if you want me to fix my audio, you're gonna have to be a little bit better than Godzilla ear assault. I can't fix the audio if I don't know what's wrong. Okay, Uber, let me rephrase this into English. Am I too loud? Yes or no? Okay, there.
Hey, you.
Hello.
Let me hear you on stream again before I decide.
Testing 1, testing 2, testing 3, testing 4, testing 5, testing 6, testing 7, testing 8, testing 9, testing 10.
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, because last time I was streaming, Pipkin was like, "You're too fucking quiet." It's like, okay, I'll just crank it up and then no one complains. And now this stream's like, too loud. It's like, fucking... Okay, here's what we need to do for AI. The AI revolution needs to figure out audio balancing.
Yeah, that could work. Audio balancing for each specific person.
Well, it's just like, nothing ever stays the same. It's like, okay, fine, one stream, dead next stream, too loud next stream, too quiet next stream. And then you start getting into the individual people on like the multiple person call, and it's just like, okay, what the fuck?
You're either listening on your phone or headphones or speakers, like can't please everyone.
Well, it's not even just that. It's also because like there's not that big of a point of reference and stuff. Because like if I stream to like a handful of people and like one person pipes up, well, it's like, okay, well the chat is spoken because no one else is.
Right. Well, if anyone else is watching, just comment down and let Zenar know if everything's all right. Well, according to me, like on my end, you turned your gain down, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So on my end, it's fine. So I don't know how it is for other people now. I'll have to speak.
Well, I'm looking at my stats. Only 2 people are watching on Odyssey, and only 1 person's watching on Kick. And the reason why I streamed this morning, because it seems everyone is chit-chatting in the morning on Cypher streams. Whenever he streams, it's just like, all right, everyone decides and wants to come in the voice chat. And then I do it, no one fucking shows up.
I don't know. They want to mess with Cypher, as they always do. Both on and off stream.
Is that the thing? Is that because like everyone wants to bully Cypher and no one wants to chat with me because I fight back? Is that how it is?
Maybe. Your last Haka, he's the catalyst.
To my understanding from messages from last night, apparently Haka is running on like no sleep again, so he's probably dead to the world right now.
He's always doing that, unfortunately.
Yeah, the fucking Venezuelan hit squads are after him. He can't sleep. He has to have one eye open at all times.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what are you up? So what are you up to?
Not much. I'm just progressing with studies and occasionally playing games. That's what I always do.
Yeah, I see you bugging AZ for the deep lore and knowledge.
Yeah. I need to acquire as much of it as I can before GW ruins it for everyone.
How would GW ruin it for everyone?
Well, they're already like pushing their agendas, like trying to. I don't know if it's exact specific, but I've seen the tweets that people are mad about, like, oh, there's always been female custodians and other stuff like that.
Okay, but how does this tie into your programming learning? This is where I'm having a hiccup.
I guess like, if I want to actively engage with a franchise, then at least that franchise should be worth consuming, I guess.
I know.
That's a personal thing.
I don't know. A lot of things are done at this point. It's kind of getting to where you need it. Like, I know Null, like Josh has made this reference to this point. Is like, okay, well, you have to make your own service, you have to make your own ISP, you have to make your own bank, you have to make your own country. That's pretty much where we're at right now.
Make your own stuff until it gets invaded again, and you have to start all over.
There has to come a point where people kind of like there has to be a critical mass where people realize, hey, I've seen this before. Wait a minute. We should stop it this time. But then again, people are retarded and they never learn, so eh.
I mean, in regards to IPs, I mean, all we can do is just make new ones until those get paused, I guess, and then just repeat the cycle.
Okay, but going back to my initial question, I'm really struggling the 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon between your programming and the culture war thing. How does your programming function into the culture war?
Programming, as in, oh, you'll have to elaborate there.
Because we went from talking about your programming to the culture war, but the bridge of the conversation was, I need to study faster before the culture war went. I'm trying to wrap my head around, okay, what's the context of this? These were your words.
Well, I guess I want to engage with the franchise before, like, it loses its appeal. It's really difficult to explain, honestly.
Okay, so you want to become a programmer and get into the industry, and you want to get into the Warhammer video games. Okay, is this a train of thought?
Wait, hang on, No. I think we confused something. And no, I'm just learning the Warhammer lore for the fun of it. But before everything goes to shit, the programming, the master thing, that's something separate. That's
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. There was no clear delineation of change of topic. That's why I was confused.
Yeah, I got confused as well.
Okay, when two ESLs try to have a conversation, this is how it devolves into.
Yeah. It's literally the rest of the world. Like, probably like 90% at this point.
The Tower of Babylon is consequences on the human race. And
yeah, I guess, like, going back to the point about Cypher stream, I guess it's just the banter that draws everyone in. Like, he tries to be like game, and we just try to mess with him, and he loses focus, and just devolves into, like, the stuff that Haku usually talks about. Like,
Okay. Yeah, okay, I can kind of see the appeal of this here, because in my mind, I'm kind of like, all right, Cypher's streaming on Twitch, so people kind of have to keep their power level in check. Or is it the appeal of like, LOL, let's get Cypher banned from Twitch? Because like, since I stream in Kick and Odyssey, is like, where's the fun kind of thing?
I mean, not really banned because we do try to keep ourselves in check. Like, I don't use slurs, but I know like at least a few people that do, and they have to keep it in check. But even then, like something slips through. But yeah, that's not the goal. The goal is just mess with him.
Cypher and Denna are really brother and sister at this point, because that's largely that's largely Denna's appeal at this point, is just the bullied sheep.
He's an easy target. Especially for Haka, who like lives and dies by the bans.
When God has lost his way, the devout must
Yeah, I guess I can kind of see it. I know. I try to bug Haka from time to time. It's like, hey Haka, come on, let's just go full off the rails, and he's like, no, my power level's too strong. It's like bullshit.
There's Odyssey. Who cares?
I know, and it's just like, it's like, you're not there's no point in protecting me for my streams and stuff. Just go off the rails. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I think Odyssey might be fine with it, but I know Kick has a thing against slurs and all that, so you will have to contain it a bit.
I know. I saw the. I read the TOS and stuff, and it doesn't look like it's really enforced, because I checked some other streams and stuff, and some other streams are like fucking like KKK rallies. So it's like there's no consistency. It's almost like Twitch level shit, where it's the equivalent. Let me phrase this.
Take your time.
The racial slurs and stuff on Kick is the equivalent of the hot tub streams on Twitch. It's like there's no consistency.
I see.
So it's just like, okay,
As long as you don't do it like a sailor, you'll be fine.
I guess. I don't know. I'm still of the opinion that there's not enough automatic moderation and stuff, that it has to be reported, kind of thing. Like, here's the funny thing with Kick. It doesn't matter, like, with Kick, I've noticed it doesn't, I fucking hate this Toho shit. It doesn't matter what, like, category I put, or, like, anything I set up for the stream and stuff. It looks like there's an automatic detection thing, because, like, when I did the watch along, like, any of my political watch along, even though I have it as just chatting, fuck, I hate all this shit. When I
try
have
to concentrate.
I know I can't really do Toho fights worth a damn to begin with. So it doesn't matter if I set it as just chatting. Like, something will auto detect and change it to politics when I'm talking about politics. It's the weirdest thing. And there's no way there's no way that's manually reviewed. There ain't no way. So I'm kind of,
I guess they have their own algorithms.
Yeah, but I'm kind of just wondering, like, to what extent those algorithms are effect, because like it detects it. Let me rephrase it like this: I've borne witness, I have evidence where it detects my politisperging and flags it as such, but it does not detect any time I use slurs, as I've received no punishment or any notifications up until now. So it's just like, okay, where's the consistency in this? It's just weird.
Might be that they're not being too aggressive with it right now, but I guess once they have the pressure from like advertisers and such, then you'll start to see them cracking down on it. But that's just me.
Well, if that's by that logic, if that's the case right now, I'm just gonna have fun with it while I can.
Exactly.
Man, I really need to start picking more DPS passes in my tree. Fuck.
Yeah, I'm thinking of getting to Path of Exile too. I already wishlisted it. And I did buy Titan Quest on sale earlier. So whenever Arjun is free, I can play that with him. Like, he asked me like to let him know when I got that game.
I'm still kind of curious because I did see the notification from Grinding Gear Games that they'll honor any existing transactions into Path of Exile 2, which is nice. I can keep most of my tabs and some of my cosmetics, but I'm just wondering how, like, the scale and depth that they're going to honor that. I don't know.
Yeah, I remember looking this up like on our, was it which watch along was it? The Gamescom one, right? And I remember looking this up and I did read the part about carrying over microtransactions, but I don't know about other stuff that will carry over. But I'm sure you'll have to start like a new character and, you know, grind all over again.
Well, yeah, it's going to be a completely new game and stuff.
Yeah.
But like them saying that they're going to honor, like they're going to transfer over like any purchases you've had, so like all the tabs and some of the cosmetics and stuff. I'm just kind of wondering how much of that there, because that would mean they'd have to either reuse or remake all those assets, because there's a fuck ton of cosmetics in this game. I mean, a fuck ton.
Well, do they have a reputation for making promises they can't keep?
Well, they used to be really good, but then the 10-cent nation attack. That's the rub.
Then I guess we'll find out next month.
When it is Path of Exile 2 coming
No,
out next month?
2 months, actually, November, not October. I was wrong there.
Okay, because I remember it's still a little bit off. I don't know, any of my game news so far has been kind of bogarted by the PAL World thing. I'm just like, I want more information, but it's a litigation thing, so we're probably not going to hear anything for a good while on the updates for the PAL World versus Nintendo snafu.
Yeah, that's gonna take a few years at least. But like, given Nintendo's track record, it looks like they're gonna win this one as well.
For freedom.
Because they know what the lawyers know what they're doing.
And it kind of sucks because here's the thing, like, unfortunately, like, patenting a game mechanic has precedence. Although I don't, like, at the end of the day, I consider IP law like horseshit of the highest bullshittery, like the highest order. I fucking hate it. But like, patenting game mechanics is fucking retarded, and Nintendo doing this is legitimately, in terms of the industry, a bad thing.
Yeah, I think the first time I actually witnessed it was WB with their Nemesis system. But back then, people didn't think much of it. Like, there were concerns, but like now, I think it's trying to come to the spotlight.
There's also older ones. Do you remember Crazy Taxi?
Yes, I played it. I love it.
Okay. So the GPS navigation for Crazy Taxi is that giant fuck off arrow above your car. That there is actually patented, so no other game can use that.
Wait, an arrow above your car
Yep.
that follows you everywhere. I mean, I've seen that in a couple of games.
That's actually
Like
patented.
GTA.
I know. So, but that's on Sega for going with their IP. What's another thing? I forget who I think Atari might own this. You're not allowed to have mini games in loading screens because someone has a patent on that. There's a bunch of things. Like, there's a bunch of like game patents that are fucking retarded and old as sin.
I am sin.
Speaking of sin.
The forgotten.
Yeah, and I'm honestly worried that it's only gonna get worse from here, and I wonder how it's gonna affect like smaller developers. Like, it's already affecting PAL World, but how is it gonna affect like other indie games, other like small AA developers? Like, are they just gonna stop making games entirely because they have to fight so much patent bullshit?
Well, it's the IP argument. Like it is like more personal for us as gamers and stuff, but it is just a subset of the patent argument and like the IP argument. Like, IP has become a giant, like the whole concept of intellectual property has become a giant monster from what it used to be. and fundamentally it just doesn't work anymore. And it's definitely here's the funny thing. I forget who said this, but I agree with it wholeheartedly. Intellectual property laws has set back our species by several centuries. Because we're
Well,
just like,
unfortunately, I don't know much about law to comment though. Can you
okay,
elaborate that?
okay, so science, medicine, technology, all that stuff. Okay, we're just thinking in terms of entertainment. All this here stuff we're talking about applies to actual development of human species. And because a lot of intellectual property laws exist and stuff, a lot of stuff just can't be done. So it actually does stifle innovation. It's in terms of it's in terms of like the Library of Alexandria burning down. We lost a shit ton of information and set us back. But in this case, instead of losing information, it's locked up and paywalled and lawyer walled. In that you can't all this development that's happened you can't do and you can't use because of laws.
Because someone else already owns it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like you're in school, and here's another example that would probably apply to you. Books. Like the book industry is fucking retarded when it comes to IP laws.
Don't ever give up.
Like, okay, you have to buy this new book. Oh, I'll just get an old one. Oh, we changed around all the chapters and stuff and the questions, and yeah, you have to get a new one every year. That
Yeah,
kind
you
of
need
shit.
this specific edition.
Yep.
Otherwise, all the page numbers different. The chapters are like moved up by one, and then you've realized you're taking notes on the wrong one. Yeah, I've experienced that recently.
Yeah, and also like research papers and stuff. Like, okay, all this human knowledge is paywall behind literally like the two giant publishing companies. It's like, oh, I want this here paper so I can further my research. Oh, I'm sorry, you need to pay like $2,000 to read this one article. It's like, well, shit.
I mean, usually you can get it for free through your university. Like if they have a, what do you call it, an agreement or something with them.
Yeah, but it's the principle that matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. Also, I'm just looking over the member list, and wow, there's a lot of people offline this time.
Well, I'm just looking. I don't know, 13 people on. Well, 12 people online is not terribly bad. Maybe. Let's see. Got 2 people watching Odyssey still, and got 1 person on Kick. So.
I don't get it though. Like,
I don't get it.
I noticed like with these call, like, have you like with your political watch along, like, have you had call-ins like to the level of frequency as we've seen like before?
Not really. Like, I don't know, the last few times, like, either, like, Sark or Pipkin would call in, that's about it.
No, actually, honestly, I don't know why we stopped. I mean, like, both you and Cypher, like, stream at different times, and Cypher streams very sporadically, and because he claims he's not a streamer. But, I don't know, like, we used to have the more active call-ins. I guess we'll have to, like, bug everyone and ask what's up.
I don't know, life happens kind of thing, but I like today I'm doing an experiment, as I am wont to do. So like I'm doing this morning stream, but instead of an afternoon stream, I'm going to do an evening stream. So I'm doing a morning and evening stream, and I'm going to compare and contrast the level of engagement. And I already have an idea of how that's going to go, but I'm committed right now.
Yeah, I won't be here for evening stream, but I think some of the others will.
I don't know.
That's my prediction.
I am. Well, yeah, that's the thing. Given the international audience and stuff, I'm just kind of curious to see how it plays out. But I've done this experiment before, and even if I try to follow up on it with the same parameters and stuff, it doesn't work. It's like, okay, what time is good for people? Like all those polls I run, it's like, okay, what's a good time for people? It's like, and then no one shows up. So it's like, eh.
Yeah. I mean, it's Saturday too, so like most of us aren't working.
Yep, that is the thing too. So I don't know. I don't know. My plan is to go for like an hour, and then call it, and then try again later. Like
Yeah, that works.
on the assumption no one else calls in and then when it picks up, because we've had that thing before happen where it would be like, okay, kind of slow, but then people start trickling in, and then it's like self-sustaining after a point. So fucking weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. At the end of the day, this has been one giant experiment to just be on the other side of the whole VTubing thing and stuff, and it does contextualize everything I've, like all the old Pippa streams of her pissing and moaning about how things are and stuff, and it's like, I get it. Like, insert Danny DeVito meme of like, I get it.
Yeah, and I feel like you said, it will apply to VTubing as a whole. Like, as people get older and busier, then yeah, there will be like the viewership will go down even more, and yeah, it's an inevitability at this point. It's nothing you can do about it. You just stream as normal. It's not much you can change.
I know, but my preferred method for the streams and stuff is just have call-ins and just shoot the shit. Like, pretty much just have a live stream of the voice chats. But on the flip side, I really don't like just like, oh, I see a voice chat going on, I'll slip myself in and start streaming. I've done that a couple times, but it's never sit right with me to do that.
I think what you could do is like with these experimental streams, you could like, this might be a little artistic, but you can calculate the average time it takes for more people to call in, and just for like give yourself an idea, maybe a better idea of when to stream and when to start these calls, and that's just me throwing out an idea.
No, I know, I understand stuff, but like, it's gotten to the point where like, it doesn't matter what kind of like autistic data I pull out and stuff. It'll never be valid because it's never consistent. Which is what I was getting at earlier. I know, it's almost kind of like a crap shot at this point where it's like, stream whenever. And if it goes, it goes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And just keep on doing that as a thing, I guess.
Honestly, if you were to ask me, I think the afternoon streams were the best times. Like, I know that was a time when most people would call in. Like back when we were doing this more regularly. So might do
three streams today. So one now, one at my usual time, and then one in the evening. If the afternoon one doesn't do good.
Oh yeah, I should let you know, but we do have a watch along at Cypher server in what will be the afternoon for you.
I'm not a Bionicle guy. That was after my time.
Yeah, but I'm like, like if you do streams, people won't, like a few of us won't be able to call in.
I know, it probably would just be like this where I'm just playing a game, and if anyone calls in, It's kind of like, if it happens, it happens kind of thing.
Yeah. And even with Cypher streams, like he sometimes would stream out of my time zone or stream for like the entire day, and I can't keep up with everything that happens. Like even in when we have like VC sessions with M, like they go on for like 7-8 hours, and I don't have that kind of time nor that kind of sleep schedule to keep up with. You miss a lot of things. You do get that FOMO, but I learned to like, get over it slowly.
Yeah, I've gotten the FOMO concept out of my system a long time ago at this point and stuff. But in terms of the M streams, it's just like, yeah, I'll pop in for a minute and say hi, for a few minutes and say hi, and then bounce on board, or if I'm going to do something else.
Like I know a few others, like in our group, do feel the same way. Like they don't want to miss anything. They want to be there for everything, for all the moments and all that. But yeah, I'm trying not to let it get to me, honestly. Like at some point, it does become an unhealthy obsession.
Well, in terms of the M question, there is a bit of unhealthy obsession with some people, and I'm just like, I don't get it.
Yep.
I really don't. I really don't.
I kind of get because like we've never seen such a person before, I guess, and we're like very curious what she'll do next. But yeah, it does reach and it does reach an unhealthy level at some point. And even M is constantly feeding into it. Like no offense to M, but like when you constantly streaming and coming back, it just feeds into the cycle.
The cycle of simps.
Yeah. Yeah, I was trying not to say that, but yes, simps.
Yeah, you can be
Or
nice.
in Haka's case, a punching bag.
And you can be nice. I am under no obligation to be nice. There's one thing I've noticed about this. I'm hesitant to use the phrase friend group, but this group of assholes I've noticed and stuff is that there's a lot of things that people don't want to hear, and that really kind of bugs me. So I'm just like, no, this is stupid. Stop fucking doing this, you retard. And I'm perfectly willing to say that.
Yeah, I think sometimes people do need to hear it, even though we don't want to, but it's better to say it out loud. But I think the thing is that a lot of us, we have a lot of free time in our hands because we don't have families, and some of us don't even have bills to pay because we already live with our families, and, that just gives us a lot of free time to, get involved in the shenanigans.
I am well aware of the neat lifestyle. I've been living it for a while.
And that's the thing, it's not even just needs. I mean, even people who do have jobs and they come home and then they catch up with everything that happens. And even when they are at work, they're like, oh shit, I'm not in here, I'm gonna miss out all. Yeah. I feel like myself, like I will get over it eventually. But I think some of us here, like, we're going a little too hard on it, honestly.
Oh,
I know they won't like to hear that, but I think it should be said that, yeah, we think we're going a little too hard.
Believe me, I've noticed and stuff, and the more what's a good way of putting this? The more retarded of the bunch I have called out on specifically. But to be fair, there has been some improvement with some people, and comes and goes with others. It's just like, what can you do? So say your piece, and I don't know. At the end of the day, my principle has always been, I'm not your babysitter. Fuck off.
Yeah, I mean, like we've known each other long enough now. Haka just calls me a joke killer because I don't vibe with everyone else when the autism happens.
Oh, like I totally get that. Like I like you, don't get me wrong and stuff, but you're not on the same wavelength as a bunch of us.
Hello.
Yes, and I do.
Which is fine.
I've always known that. I've known that since the beginning. Like I was not going to be on the same page with everyone else.
Which is fine. Diversity is the spice of life. True diversity. The variety, true diversity and variety is the spice of life.
Remember,
and it keeps things interesting.
We do this for freedom.
Yeah. But I also feel like this like, I'm not gonna call it like problem directly, but quote unquote problem will kind of solve itself as we get older and then we start getting more responsibilities, and we just slowly lose interest in whatever this is. Like we'll still pop in every now and then, but we won't have the same level of interest that we used to have.
I guess
that's just true for everything, honestly.
I don't know. I'm gonna be 40 next year, and honestly, once I hit my 30s, okay. Here's the thing. Like kind of like the dumbass kid thing dies in your early to mid 20s and stuff, and then from mid 20s and up is kind of like adult time. and stuff. But once you hit that point, in my experience, the way I want to word it, in my experience, once you hit 30 and going onwards, stuff really doesn't change. Like as far as your own mentality.
Yeah, you basically become set in stone at this time, and
Yeah.
I've already hit that point. Like, I'm already in my mid-20s, so yeah, I'm starting to hit that, and yeah.
I don't know. Don't get me wrong. It's not really a bad thing and stuff. But it's what am I trying to say? Once that change happens and stuff. I'm not saying to you specifically. I'm saying more to anyone who listens to this. Yeah. Once you hit your mid 20s, early 30s, like once you become an adult and you get your set in your ways and stuff, don't think that that's going to be like a magical change, like the meme of like things will get better, like when I achieve X, Y, or Z milestone, that's when things will pick up. It doesn't. It really doesn't. It never does.
Well, I guess that's different for everyone. It's not always the same experience. Depends on your outlook as well.
Well, my kind of thing and stuff is that things will get better or things will change when they change or when you do it and stuff. But it's not tied to an arbitrary set of time, is kind of what I'm getting at.
Yeah, but the thing is, it will happen sooner or later. Not at a set point in time, but it will happen. Yeah, that's what you're trying to say, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess we'll see what happens next couple of years, or even this next year. Because I myself, like, I'm already looking for another job now, so I imagine that once I start getting to the work life cycle again, so I myself am going to lose interest in whatever happens in Cypress server, for better or for worse.
I know, because we've already started like a bunch of us have already started experiencing this with the VTuber thing and stuff. It's like, do I watch that many streams or streamers anymore? Not really.
I used to max out on Nijisanji. Look at me now.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's well, the good times were had already.
Yeah, and the good ones that were worthwhile have moved on at this point, and they're doing good for themselves. So okay, yay.
Yeah. And if you want to follow them wherever they go, well, you can do that as well. But most of them I don't follow much anymore.
Same.
Like nowadays, like most of the VTubers I watch are like actually 95% of them, with like a handful total overall, are just indies, and the only corpos I do watch are the FaZe girl, which just is 10-man Lumi. That's it, and sometimes Pippa if there's something that she's streaming that I find interesting. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And even then, like I imagine that number is gonna decrease as well. Get more responsibilities.
Good old life, never change.
Yeah.
I probably should hit up the labyrinth before I kill Kitava. Okay, so if you you probably don't know. So the boss of Act 5 and Act 10, Kitava, when you beat him is when the this game has gone through a lot of revisions over the years and stuff. But like back in the day, it used to be like Diablo, where there's like normal Nightmare in Hell difficulties, and each difficulty your resistances take a hit. But now they've refined it to the point where if you beat that boss, that's when the resistance nerf kicks in and stuff. And there's a area mechanic called the labyrinth, and that's where you get your super duper elite passive points for your specialization and stuff. And I try to hit up the labyrinth like at least the first 2 rounds of that there before getting any of my resistance nerfs, because it just makes the fights and the experience in the labyrinth that much harder. So it's kind of like, okay, get this out of the way before I get the resistance nerf.
I see.
You'll be experiencing it soon enough, because I imagine they're probably going to have the same well, not the same, but like the Ascendancy Labyrinth mechanics. I imagine they're probably going to do the same thing in Path of Exile too.
And I guess that depends on if I actually gel with the game to begin with. Like, I did say many times that I want to get Diablo, and I finally played Diablo 1. Like, Diablo 1 Vanilla, like, without the expansion, it doesn't have any difficulty slider. But if you launch the expansion, that's where you get the difficulties, strangely enough.
Well, and also you're cutting your Diablo clone teeth on Diablo 1, which is, don't get me wrong, that was the granddaddy and stuff, but it showed its age.
I know. I can see why it's aged, but like, if I pirate Diablo 2, that means I'm losing out on
Freedom.
one of the things that people remember most about the game, which is the multiplayer. I can't decide which version to pirate, either the original or the remaster, which I heard is actually well done.
Honestly, I would probably just pirate both and try both. If you're so committed to it.
I'm not dying to try it out. Like, if they ever decide to move, like, add all the old games to Steam, then maybe I'll check it out. But for now, I think I want to try Diablo. I tried Diablo 1, and I bought Titan Quest as well, so I could play that with Arzen whenever he's free. Yeah, and then Path of Exile 2, whenever that comes out, and if I'm free at that point, yeah.
I was almost going to make the suggestion. It's like, hey, when Path of Exile 2, we can play together, but I'll be like a swamp ass gamer with that, and I'll just be like fucking leveling out your guys' time. So.
You can backseat me on what to do, like IO does with Minecraft and everything else with Cypher.
I'd be okay. I'd be okay with that. And let me just pull up the passive tree again. Yeah, so I re-roll and remake characters all the goddamn time and stuff. And this here current character, I've done a bit of an experiment to kind of like quote unquote future-proof it, in that I'm just taking a lot of defensive and generic abilities, because, like, for example, like, you know, fire, lightning, ice and stuff. But like, I'm not hitting any like the major specialization stuff. I'm kind of just going like general and stuff. So if I feel like changing up my play style down the road with this character, it's literally just swap out the gems as opposed to the passives, because like re-rolling and redoing your passives is a pain in the ass, and it's really fucking limited and stuff. So it's usually just easier to just make another character.
See? I mean, it looks pretty daunting to me right now, but I'm sure like if I actually sink my teeth into it properly, I don't know, I'll probably gel with it better.
Well, I've always used this comparison for the passive skill tree in Path of Exile. It's like building a magic deck. That there's where you have your fun theory crafting. And playing around with the calculators and stuff. That's like the fun one of the major fun points of it. It's like, oh, how am I going to fine tune this to my play style? And then, like, for example, like a new ladder will come out and they'll have like a new they'll implement a new spell, and it'd be like, ooh, I want to try this, and it's like, ooh, I want to build around this, and it's just like, I don't know. The business model of them always refining and updating the system and stuff, I really do like that appeal. Like, Path of Exile to me is like a collectible card game. and stuff. They're always implementing new things and makes you want to do new things. And I really like that.
Yeah, that's good. I hope like the second game does scratch that itch for you.
I imagine the second one. Here's the thing. I'm pretty sure the only reason why they're making a Path of Exile 2 is that they want to update. They want to update the game engine. I'm pretty sure that's what it comes down to. They want to have a new game. They want to have a new game engine. I'm pretty sure that's what it comes down to. And it's probably just going to be more of the same, which is fine. Which is what I want. I just want more of the same.
We'll just see how it turns out. And I will say, side note, like I know some people say like Diablo is kind of a brainless game. All you do is click around and spam your abilities, but it does lend itself well to like a chatting stream as well.
Well, yeah, that's also another thing there too. Because like
It's just something appealing about it, you know.
I don't know. I have an MMO mouse, which is great for Diablo ARPG stuff because like the Path of Exile like hotkey thing is really small and stuff. So I have like everything that I would want is just on my mouse.
Yeah, I've got one too, but I haven't taken like full advantage of it yet. I have changed it up for like a couple of games to make it easier for me, but for this kind of game, I've never actually used it for its intended purpose, which is actually for MMOs with lots of skills and all that.
Well,
So we'll
effectively, Diablo clones at this point are effectively like MMOs, effectively at this point, and stuff just based on like the skill trees, spells, abilities, blah blah blah. Instead of having a third-person view, this is like an isometric Diablo view, MMO, effectively, which is fine. I think I'm going to go for 10 more minutes on the top of the hour. I'll call it there, and then...
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm still waffling whether or not I want to run the... Because, like, you guys are watching Bionicle. I'll probably stick
to be
with
honest, it'll just be like a couple of us. Like, it was... For the last two, it was me, AZ, Katovsky, Pori, and then Dazzle showed up for a second one. It's just a handful of us. I don't know if more people will show up, but... You're free to choose when you want to stream.
I'm probably going to stick.
I was just saying that.
Nah, I'm probably going to stick with my. I'm probably going to stick with my original plan and try an evening stream because I rarely ever start in the evening, so I want to give that a shot for once. Because like my afternoon stream times, like you said, is usually the safe bet and best bang for my buck time and stuff. I want to go out and try the Outliers today and see how it goes. Or I might. Who knows? Depends how I feel. My curiosity of how running experiments only goes so far when it comes to my whims.
Whatever works for you.
Again, at the end of the day, all I ever do is just for shits and giggles. Like, I forget. I've started following a couple of other VTubers recently, and man, they make things wait. Like, okay, I forget the name. There's this Alicia VTuber I recently started following, and she does like a lot of React content. And I just watch her out of curiosity, but then I start looking at her schedule and how much she streams and stuff. I'm just like, girl, you're taking this way too seriously. You need to take breaks.
Yeah, I know at least a few VTubers are, well, there's too many that they have nothing but streaming in their lives and just go like maybe 8, 10, 12 hours.
Yeah, that's one of those things like I don't get it. Here's like a little life thing for me, in that thanks to my Marfan syndrome, I have a mild case of scoliosis in my back, and because of that, I cannot sit down for hours at a time. Pretty much after like 2 or 3 hours, if I were just to sit down, my back would be screaming bloody murder, and I would be reaching for painkillers and stuff. So like, as a matter of course, I tend to get up and walk around, like, if left to my own devices, I get up and walk around like every 20 minutes. So like, streaming for me after a point does become uncomfortable. So like, sitting around and just like streaming for like a 10-hour thing, I'd be like, I would be like starting a shotgun at that point.
Yeah, and even me, like, fortunately, I don't have any such issues, but also I'm not a fan of sitting on my ass all day. Like you know me, I do take walks regularly. You know what you call old man walks. So yeah, because even though I have a healthy body, I still want to, stay physically active and, prevent issues from manifesting later down the line.
Yeah, you can't enact God's will if you're a fat sack of shit.
Also, it seems like Cypher's recent stream didn't go that well because maybe he had too many people on call.
I don't know. I got like, I'm usually in bed early in the evening, which is why tonight's experiment's gonna be fun. But when I got the notification and saw the stream, he only streamed for like an hour and a half, so I was like, oh, that's kind of short, relatively speaking, from the usual ones. So what was the stream? Pretty much a clusterfuck. It's just people piled in and just like total anarchy.
Well, I'm chatting with the guys right now, so he had trouble concentrating, and there was like 8 people in the call. Haka says there were 3 separate bots dead within the first 10 seconds. Like, apparently he didn't. Cypher didn't tell everyone that he was about to start stream. I don't know. Like, I've had people on you've seen. I think you've seen some of them. Like, I've had collab streams before, and I've had to cut out a few slurs, but not to the extent that Cypher has to keep an eye out for.
And
I've never really had too much of a problem with having too many people on call. Like, I've done it a couple of times. But yeah.
I don't know, anyone collabing with you, going on your stream kind of thing and stuff, I think most of us know what we're getting into at this point, and it's just like, okay, it's Uber, it's YouTube, alright, Sunday best.
No, but here's the thing, the friend group that I do play with, they like to get rowdy as well. Like I said, I've had to cut out a few slurs out of my VODs. I don't like killing VODs entirely unless I have a really good reason to. So I could use YouTube's editor to cut out like a few seconds that I need to cut out.
Understandable. You just hang around with all the bad crowds.
I'm surprised I haven't become like them yet. Besides hanging around them for years.
I know. I just at this point I kind of just picture in my head that you're the Muslim equivalent of a paladin.
Or a cleric.
Yeah, I guess you're not really that militant. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, because the clerics they need the lawful good alignment, otherwise they lose their abilities.
Remember.
Well, paladins are the same thing, only they have the heavy armor specialization. Okay, I guess that's enough for now. I'm gonna call it here.
Alright.
Alright, so the couple of people actually watched, thanks for coming. Take it easy. Later.